What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be playing some Stanley Parable. Alright, so we gotta go find our co-workers, I guess. Such a sad and bleak office. It all looks the same. Wow. I don't want to grow up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I want to go to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Exactly.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all,
I just got a
to
text.
spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
One second, guys. This will take me 2 seconds.
Yes, really.
I just really want to take this in.
Here in the room, a room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Come on, I just gotta do this. Come on, come on, come on.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Alright, sorry about that, guys.
He'd had enough of the amazing room.
I
He took
did.
the first open door on his left to get back to business.
The hell?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Oh shit.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I'm just
Good
gonna
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
shut your ass up. I'm just gonna like not do what he says. It's kind of fun breaking the rules.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Nah, I'll
simply
just go
missed
to the
a
left.
memo.
I'll just play the game properly. I think it's proper.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a good boy.
Yet there was not a single person
Talk
here
less, do
either.
unbelievably amazing
Feeling a
work
wave of
all the time,
disbelief,
every day, with no
Stanley decided
expectation
to
of
go up
promotion
to
or
his
recognition.
boss's office,
Don't get
hoping he
fired.
might find an answer
How to
there.
solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside of you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, chart and slides, charts. Wow. Oh, you can open doors? Is that a
Stanley
gun?
stepped into the
No.
broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh,
There
you
was
can
nothing
crouch.
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What the hell is down here? What's with this scary red glow?
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh
He
wait, no, I
considered
want to
the
go to the
possibility
boss's
of
office.
facing his boss, admitting he had left his
I just
post
wanted to
during
check
work
some
hours.
stuff.
He might be fired for that. And in
Man.
such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for
Why do
no
all these
reason
rooms
at all.
look the same?
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
Wow.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No,
Yes.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't
Coffee
actually
nut.
gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
So do I just keep
I'll wake
walking?
up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Whoa.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd,
How long is this gonna go on
this
for?
voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that
Is this supposed something I'm supposed to do? I don't know the controls, I don't know anything, I never got taught.
Deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself. Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice
How
not see him float
long
and make
can
the
this guy
magical
go on
stars
talking?
just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
What the hell?
This voice
Wait,
was
wait,
a
wait,
part
wait,
of
wait, wait.
himself too.
Okay, that was just really weird. I started talking, and then he started talking louder. I think that's just part of the game, and it's not like
Surely,
he's trying
if
to
he
talk
could
over
just-
me. Shut your ass up!
He would prove it.
Hello,
He would
hello, hello,
prove
hello,
that
hello.
he was in
Are you
control,
talking? No, he's not. I
that
don't
this
think he
was
is.
a dream. So he closed his eyes.
It's a coincidence. Oh,
and he
L2 also
invited
works to
himself
crouch.
to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay, so are we just gonna be stuck in an endless loop?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Wow.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? But it's
Mariella
just-
woke up on a day like any other.
It's the
She
Stanley
rose,
parable,
got
not the
dressed,
Mariella
gathered her
parable.
belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call
So I
for
think I
ambulance,
got the
for
wrong.
just a few
I did the
brief
wrong thing,
moments,
guys.
she
Sorry about
considered
that
the
one.
strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, so I think I died. Yeah, I definitely died. Alright, that was a waste of about
All
like
of his
6
co-workers
minutes.
were gone.
But it's
What could it
alright, guys.
mean?
We're just exploring.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Or
he had
maybe
simply missed a
I should
memo.
listen to the voice this time. That would probably help.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Oopsies,
doors,
my
he entered
controller
the
clicked
door on his
weird.
left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wow. Is that Mr. Bossman's office? What does this say? Executive bathroom. Oh. I'm gonna shit and clog this toilet. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Yes. Why are they killing the panda? Business strategy. Makes sense.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was
Why do you
being
need such a
held from
big
him?
office?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
Wow, I
random
knew
buttons
that.
on the keypad, Stanley happened to
I just
input the
guessed.
correct code
What the hell?
by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What the? Oh, I guess I have to go down. Holy guacamole.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley
Sorry about
realized
that.
he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's no door, so I can't close.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it, and nope, still on board with death.
I want to see what kills me.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I really want to see what kills me.
At this point,
I don't know how long
Stanley
this
was
hall is.
making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I was hoping to get stabbed by like a serial killer, not just jump down a pit and die. Wait, that's not... Oh, I should have gone to the mine... Oh no, this is how I die, I think. Kinda wanted to go to the mind control facility. Oh, I'm getting crushed.
Closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real
Somehow
story,
I survived the fall.
trapped forever
Now
in
I
his
get to
narrow
get
vision
crushed.
of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted
Plucking the
his
eyeballs from a
retirement
blind guy.
to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye, cruel world. What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What the hell? I wanted to get crushed. Come on. Oh, did I beat the game?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
No, I can't
What
restart the
exactly
game
did
from the
narrator
beginning.
think he was going to accomplish?
I thought I would get saves.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The hell? Everything you do has, even if it's not what you're supposed to do, instead of just killing you, you get to go to a whole other area.
Oh, look at these two.
I kind of wish
How they wish to
I played the game properly
How
instead
they
of
wish
just,
to control one another. How
you
they
know,
both wish to be free. Can you see?
instead
Can
of
you
just,
see how much they need one another?
you know,
No, perhaps
killing
not.
myself.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. Listen
Ah!
to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off
Don't
your
stop it.
PlayStation. There's no other way to
I'm
beat
not-
this game.
No.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Yes! Frick yeah, boys. That was glorious. I don't even care if I step back in my office.
All
I
his
freaking
co-workers were
did
gone.
that.
What could it mean?
Alright, now to follow
Stanley
the game
decided to
properly
go
so I
the
don't have
meeting
to
room. Perhaps
keep
he had
going
simply
back from the
missed a memo.
start.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
Fudge!
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Turn this shit off.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, let's play the game properly now. Lock in, boys. Wow, look at that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
That
large
caught me
door
again.
that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm scared of two things in life. Loud noises and girls.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with
Whoa.
television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true
Who's
nature
fired?
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee
Two people
in the
fired.
building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wow.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe
Well,
it.
it's getting pretty
He
cold,
couldn't
man.
accept it. His own
Shouldn't be
life
playing
in
outside.
someone else's control?
When you get lights.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly
Playing on the roof of my
blind to the
penthouse.
world?
Sorry.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley
What's this
decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
There's one of.
For he would dismantle the controls
There's a thingy over
once
there.
and for all.
Mind control, idle awaiting input. Ooh. Told you. Scared of two things.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Dude, why am I so jumpy?
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Oh, I was
For
going
it was
downstairs,
not
I thought I
knowledge or
fell.
even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Oh, the door's still going down, my
Stanley
bad.
stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Complete. What? Get your first trophy. Awarded for getting any of any of the other trophies as your first. What? So some of the achievements are play the game for an entire Tuesday.
All of his
Click on doors 435 times. Don't play the game for an entire 10 years.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Alright, well,
find
that's the
a
Stanley
trace of
Parable.
his co-workers.
Thanks for watching.